welcome to my channel. My name is Cassie. So I have not posted anything on my YouTube channel or even my Instagram either for the past 2 months. So I didn't do my March wrap up. I didn't do my April TBR. I recorded it, but I didn't edit it, post it. I didn't play my TBR game for May. The most that I've done is like maybe take some other people's stories on my Instagram and I'll like post them to my story to just kind of spread it. But that's kind of all that I really did. And the reason for that was on April 6th, my 11-year-old husky unfortunately passed away. So that has been really hard. It is still really hard. Try not to think about it too much because then I start crying. And then in May, was also kind of personally hard just because I feel like people only want a certain aspect of me, which is like only the good part. And they don't want any of the bad. And unfortunately, most of me is kind of the bad. And so I came to a realization that maybe if people can't accept me for everything that I am, then maybe they don't deserve any. And so May has also been kind of challenging. But we're going to try to pick this back up again. We're going to try to continue with life. So I did participate in Escape the Readathon. I was on Team Engineer. Yeah, Team Engineers. So I did do some reading in May. Not anything like crazy. Most of it was manga. I submitted mostly pages. I didn't do I think I only did one prompt submission. The rest of it was just pages, unfortunately. So I thought I would go over what I read in March, what I read in April, and then of course what I read in May, because I don't think I'm going to be reading anything else this month. I'd be very surprised if I did. And then we're going to kind of go into June TBR, which I'm not going to be playing my game for June because I'm going to participate in the Tarot Readathon. I've never participated in it before. Generally I would do the Amazing Readathon that Brie puts on, but I'm not really. That's very prompt based, and it's very. I feel like every few days you have to read a book for this prompt, and then if you're still reading a book and you get to the next prompt, well then I don't know. I don't want to be rushed right now. And the Tarot Readathon, I haven't participated in it before, and it seems a little bit more mood reader friendly, and it also is kind of like seems to be more at your own pace. So anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and jump into like March, April, May books that I have read, and then we will get into the June situation. So I'm not going to go very deep into any of this because that would be a very long video. So for March, I read Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, and I gave it 5 stars. Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen, I gave 4 stars. Red Rising, I have a notebook in case anybody's wondering. Red Rising by Pierce Brown, I gave 5 stars. Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, I gave 5 stars. And House of Bane and Blood by Alexis L. Menard, I gave 4 stars. So that was my March wrap up. And I don't I haven't calculated any points or anything like that for March, April, or May. So that's something that I'm gonna have to work on, and then we're just gonna have to figure it out come July. I have to play catch up a little bit on that. I kind of forgot about it until just this moment, and I know that if I stop to do that and do all of that, that this is probably again going to get pushed to another time, and I'm like, I need to do it now. It needs to happen now, so the points are going to be pushed to another time. The video posting and editing is going to be, happening like now. Anyway, so that is what I read in March. All of them, I believe, were actually part of my official TBR, and I think there may have only been like maybe one or two maybe that I might not have read. I would have to go back in time. Again, later situation. April, surprisingly, from the 1st to the 5th, I read a lot of books. I hit a stride in the first 5 days of April. I read the first 6 books in the Anita Blake's series, the Vampire Hunter Anita Blake series by Laurel K. Hamilton. I read the first 6 books in that series, which I pretty much gave them all 3 stars. They were, good little popcorn reads. Then I read Dark Lover by J.R. Ward, which unfortunately I gave 2 stars. Was not really a fan. And then I read Moon Called by Patricia Briggs, which I gave 3 stars. And then Misha, unfortunately, on April 6th. And so then I just didn't read anything until the very end of April. And then I decided to try out Frida McFadden's The Dinner Party, where it's choose your own adventure type situation, and there was like over 20 different endings or something like that. And so I was like, yeah, no, sure, I'll give that a try. And so, I reread it like multiple times and get a bunch of different endings to try to get the whole snippet, all the whole story for some of the characters and whatnot. And I gave that 4-star. I think it's probably like more like 3.5, but I rounded it up. I rounded a few of the star ratings up. Because Goodreads only does whole stars. But anyway, I thought it was a very interesting concept. And, for an adult mystery type situation, choose your own adventure, it wasn't horrible. So, yeah. That was, 6, 7, 8, 9 books in April. And the majority of them happened in 5 days. 8 of them happened in 5 days. So then, May, where I was participating in Escape the Readathon, I was on Team Engineers. I read mostly for pages. I think I only did 1 prompt submission. But I read 6 volumes of a manga called Megami and Tsugumi. And so I gave all those 4 stars. The one book that I submitted as a prompt was Scythe and Sparrow by Bryony Weaver, and I gave that 4 stars. I will say that if I have to pick between the 3 in that trilogy, Butcher and Blackbird is definitely, to me, the best one. And then Scythe and Sparrow might come in second, and then Leather and Lark, I think, would be third. And so now I finally get to start the other series that she has started, tourist season. So eventually I will get to that. And so after that, I read Dungeon Crawler Carl's Volume 1. is it a comic? Manga? Something? Comic? I don't know. But I read that, 5 stars. I enjoyed it. I mean, I love Dungeon Crawler Carl books. 1 through 7. Gave all of those 5 stars. I have not gotten to the new book that has come out yet because I've been kind of, slumpy. And I didn't want to ruin it by reading it while I was in a slump, because generally my rating of things kind of goes down when I'm reading something when I'm in a slump by at least a star. So, did not want to do that to one of my favorite series, so I'm just kind of holding off doing reading that at the moment. And then after that, I read the Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman, and I gave that 4 stars. So those are all the books that I read in March, April, and May. So now let's kind of get into my June TBR. Alright, so we are moving on to my June TBR, where I am participating in the Tarot Readathon for the first time, which is exciting. And so I've joined Team Swords. So we're going to start there, I guess. So Team Swords, hosted by the Rumi's Digest, Alexis Foley Booked, and Bow's Books. The Swords theme, if you're interested in any of it, is the element is air. The signs are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. The strength or center of intelligence is mind, logic, led intelligence. And themes are thoughts, words, intellect, clarity, logic, protection, decisiveness, communication, and mental well-being. And I should probably mention that if I go up to the top, let me see if it has it at the top. So I know that there are 2 people that are like the heads of the readathon, that have been putting it on for like the past couple years now. I think this is the 5th year. I know one is Deja's Book World is one. And I think the other is, I think her name is, or her YouTube is Noelle. So yeah, I will see if I can't link them in my description below, whether it is like just their YouTube channel name or the videos. We'll see how that works out. So every team, and there's 4 teams, every team has a 3-card spread they can use if they want to. And it gives you the option of an alternate prompt, a card swap, or double points, depending on, when you pull a card for each one. First card goes in position 1, second card position 2, third card position 3. So this would essentially be a 3-book pull. You can just do like a pull 1 card and pick a card type situation. Or you can do 3 cards and then pick which one you want to do first, and then you pick another one, and then you pick the third one, and then you've done your 3-card spread. So I have options. I like it. And then of course there are 3 ways I guess you can win. You could do the well, maybe there's 4. Now I have to think about it. I don't know. But there's the Climb of Destiny, which is the number of books that team reads for their weekly challenges. So I think on Monday every team gets a different like card weekly challenge that they can read towards. And I guess depending on which team reads how many books towards that challenge wins the Climb of Destiny or something. Path of Pages is another third way, which is the number of total pages team members read for their personal card pulls. This counts for not only your single card pulls, but I think the 3 card spread as well. And then there's Hero's Journey, which is the amount of self-care and or tarot practice team members complete. So I thought that was really cool that it had an option to make points for doing self-care. I like that. So yeah, very excited about this. And so I think what I'm gonna do, excuse me, and of course, you know, they do have merc. They do have merc as well. But you guys, if you're interested in it, you guys can look at the you can look at their announcement videos, and you can click on their links for their merc and whatnot. But anyway, so it's been a few years, but I do have my own tarot cards. So we're gonna unwrap my tarot cards from their wrap that I generally keep them in. So yeah, these are I think it's their dragon card set, so it's fun. So yeah, we're gonna pull. I don't know if I want to pull like one right now and then do the rest of them later, or if I want to do a couple right now. Maybe I'll do the 3 card spread for you guys now, and then you guys will just find out later what the rest of the thing is. So let's do this. Alright, so I think we're gonna do a 3 card spread. We're gonna have some options, I feel like. We'll have 3 options, and then based on the 3 original options, 2 of them kind of have an alternate possibility, and then the 3rd one is just kind of, you'll read for that book prompt, but it has to have a secondary type prompt, I guess. So you would read for the double points for a book that not only matches the card's prompt, but also has exactly 3 words in the title. So, alright, so card 1, which is position 1, which will be the alternate prompt card, is the 8 of Cups. They help if I didn't have my finger over it. So that's our first one. Second one is going to be position 2, and card swap is the Moon. It's, you know, very pretty. Okay. And then our third pull, which is position 3, double points, is Knight of Pentacles. Alright. So, what does that mean? What does that mean? Let's find out what it means. Coming over here to my other screen, reading prompts table. So 8 of Cups is read a book about moving on or starting a new chapter. And then, let's see, the Moon. Where's the Moon? There's the Moon. The Moon is read a book featuring the paranormal, so vampires, werewolves, witches, et. And then the Knight of Pentacles. Let's see, which one are you? Okay, the last one is Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is read a book you've been saving for the right time. Alright, let's see what I can find for these. Okay. So, For 8 of Cups, what was that again? What was that? Read a book about moving on or starting a new chapter. And then it's also got an alternate prompt option where choose a book that matches the card's prompt or whose pages number ends in this card's number. So 8 would be the number the book would need to end in. And so I do believe what I'm going to read, as it says it has 288 pages, is The Lost Elemental by Tessa Hale. Yep. I think that is the one that I'm going to read for that prompt. So it looks like it was supposed to be simple: graduate, get a job to keep my mom from drowning in mountains of medical debt, and maybe score a scholarship to a decent college. All of that changed in a single breath because it turns out I'm not human and I just knocked out the power of an entire city block. In a split second, all of my carefully laid plans go up in smoke. There's no chance for college because I'm being hauled off to Kingwood Academy. They say it's for my own protection and those around me, but I know one thing for sure: I'm not welcome here. The mean girls don't stop at insults and tripping you in the halls. They are wielding magic that could cost me my life, and the rest of the school sees me as either a halfling that should be cast out or a powerhouse to be brought down. Everyone except them. The charmer, the gentle giant, the psychopath, and maybe even the cruel prince. The royals of Kingwood Academy have taken me under their wing, and I can't help but notice how my skin hums when they touch me. I shouldn't be dreaming about a single one of them, let alone all 4, but I can't seem to stop myself. Only someone doesn't like the attention the royals are showing me, and when the attacks start, the princes will do anything to protect me, but they don't know the true evil we face, the kind who will do whatever it takes to seize our power, even if that means stealing the very last breath from our lungs. So that is our first position 1 book. So the next one was The Moon. And so this has a card swap option. I was trying to find something like read a book featuring the paranormal, vampires, werewolves, witches, and the book that I have, I don't know if that matches that, but it says that I can do the prompt or plus or minus a card on either side of the prompt. So I could do the star, which is read a book you think will leave an impact on you, or I can do the sun, read a fun or joyful book. And so I think I'm going to be doing the star of read a book you think will leave an impact on you, and that is The Rites of the Starling by Stephanie Perry, which is the sequel to what is it? Oh, Shield of Sparrows. Shield of Sparrows for me was a 6-star read for me. Definitely impacted me. Loved it to death. Loved it. I'm really hoping this book is going to do the same. And I didn't read it when it initially came out because, again, it literally came in the mail the day after, I think. And I didn't even take it out of the box that it got delivered in until probably closer to the end of the month of April. So I think it's time, and this is definitely going to leave an impact on me. I know it is. I know it is. So this is what's going to be position 2 pick. So then the other option, our third position, was the Knight of Pentacles. And so for double points, you have to a book that not only matches the card's prompt, but also has exactly 3 words in the title. Oh, that was hard. So for the Knight of Pentacles, read a book you've been saving for the right time. There has been a book that I've just been sitting on for a long time. And maybe this is the right time. I'm hopeful that this is the right time. And not only that, but it has a 3-word title. I was actually going to do like Rides of the Starling because I was saving it for the right time because April was not the right time and neither was May. But it's not a 3-word title. It's 4 words. So I picked instead Twilight of Embers by Tessa Hale. So apparently I'm reading 2 books by Tessa Hale this month. Theoretically. We're gonna see. I'd always wondered what it would be like to have a family. I just never expected to find it with 5 mysterious strangers who have more secrets than I could ever imagine. Getting a scholarship to Evergreen University and majoring in pre-med means I need to keep my head down and focus on my studies, but campus is full of distractions. The football god and his golden retriever charm, the tortured one with his vicious tongue, the broken boy with his determined protectiveness, the merciless billionaire with a penchant for spoiling me, and the genius professor with his brilliant mind. They make me feel like I belong for the first time since my parents were murdered, and when they touch me, my whole world sparks aflame. But they have enemies, those who would give anything to harm what they hold dear, and while they do whatever it takes to keep me safe, sometimes falling in love will put you right in the line of fire. So apparently, I'm reading To I Choose with this read at some point. And of course, The Rights of the Starling. So those are my first 3 options for my June TBR. I'm gonna see about, I might try to do like some reading vlogs or something if after I'm done with 3 books and then I need to pick some more books or something, then I will see about doing a little reading vlog so that you guys can see what I picked and whatnot. But that is it. So yeah, if you have any books that I mentioned that you liked, or if you want to mention any books that you think I might like, put them in the comments down below. If you like this video, like it, and until next time.